There's a great quote up there. It says that duty is ours, results is God's.
Yeah.
Right. And so the discipline part is every single day will follow my plan with a great attitude. And then you bring it down to every single swing I take, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. I mean, just think about how simple that is, but I'm just going to do this to the best of my ability.
Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jackie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world. All right, ladies, welcome back. Part 2. This is good. Getting the audience here is getting some daddy-daughter training live and on the spot right now. But of course, I do have to ask a couple more Thanksgiving jokes here or questions. Let's see here. What do you call a running turkey?
What?
Fast food.
What? Dad, why do you know all these jokes so well? You always say them so well.
I pull them up on the internet.
Oh.
But they're really funny. This one's really good. Why was the turkey put in jail?
Why?
The police suspected foul pet play.
I've seen that one.
Come on, that's a good one. All right, so continuing on with our topic here, and we're really what we're getting to is that the way to improve in anything is you have to set a goal for a result because you need a target, but then you have to put all of your mental energy towards the process of getting there. So what is the process and why do you do that? Because this is the stuff that you can control. Like it's one of the things that will take you from distress to eustress, like we talked about last time, is controlling controllables. Yeah. Right? That's really, really important. You can't necessarily perfectly control what everybody else is going to get in, on varsity next year for average scores, but you could be concerned about it all the time and it's not even something you can control. Right? You can't necessarily even control exactly what score you're going to get, but you can work on a process between now and then that puts you in a position to have really good scores. Yeah. Okay. And so it's really cool. In this book, it talks about everyday opportunities are presented. Okay. We can choose to get up early or not. We can choose to go work out or not. We can choose to watch more TV or not. We can choose to eat those extra fries or not. We can choose to have a positive attitude or not. We can choose to stay disciplined. We can choose to work hard or not. We can choose to stay in a bad relationship or not. We can choose to stay in an unhappy job or not. And it's just really important to realize that certain things are choices. Sometimes we think that they're not, but they really are. Yeah. So the focus on discipline on a daily basis and having structure, this is how we're going to get you where you want. And it says every morning you have two choices: continue to sleep with your dreams, or wake up and chase them.
That's good.
Yeah, it is good. So, anyways, so what do you think, Belle, about some of your goals you want to accomplish for next year? What are some of the things that you want to actually make happen? Because you had a pretty good season this year.
Yeah, for sure. I remember during the season, I feel like I was feeling a lot more eustress and distress because I'd be excited about going out and practicing on the sim at night and things like that. So I'm really excited having this taste of state and districts and things like that this year with our amazing team. I'm excited to get to the point where it's like we're leading it all up and it's like that fun thing where it's like we really matter. We're really needed to make this possible. So I'm excited to get a lot better over the off season and be able to just have a really great next season.
How did the season end up this year? We haven't said that.
I think it was really fun for me because, I mean, I started tryouts and I got my best score on that course, which was pretty encouraging to start. And then I just ended up staying varsity like the whole season because I was super consistent, staying like in the 90s.
Yeah.
And also that's when Chrissy was like the next spot behind me. And she was going through like trying to fix her own attitude about golf and things like that, which made her scores kind of swing back and forth. So I kind of had a little bit of cushion because of that, because I had been so consistent the whole season. And then once districts came around, that was kind of a crazy day because it was like pouring and we came in for a while. And I unfortunately had one of my worst scores, but nobody shot very well that day just because, because obviously we can control what we can control, and I could have probably had a better attitude about some holes and shots and things like that. But it was also a really difficult day to play golf with all the rain, and it's not a very nice
So
course.
what'd you guys get in districts?
I think I got a 103.
No. What did you guys get as a team?
Oh,
What
we
place?
got second.
Okay, you got second.
Yeah.
And then what'd you guys get in state?
Third.
Third in the state.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and
and
by
you,
2 strokes.
and you beat the one cranky team by
Yes.
2 strokes, which you
That
guys
was the
really
best part.
wanted
That was
to
the best part.
Yeah, they're kind of one that we aim for to make sure we beat, just because there's just some poor coaching
Yeah.
practices and low character
I
on
was
that
with
team.
one of their crankiest players, and we were like scoring the same the whole time. She was a little bit ahead of me, and then she hit OB, and then I was like yes, and then she hit the water, and I was like yes, and it was awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of you guys for getting third, but you're right. I mean, you're losing a couple of your best players this
Yeah.
year. So it's up to the Francis girls to carry the
For
weight
sure.
next year. So let's talk about that a little bit. I think, as you know, let's talk about what can create the distress emotion, right? When in particular with thinking about next year right now. And because we have about 10 months until
Yep.
next year's season starts. Thankfully, we're blessed to have a golf simulator
Yeah,
in our
for sure.
garage, because the reality is otherwise we can't be at the course every single day.
Right.
We can't be out in the range every single day. But we do have a simulator, which is an absolute awesome advantage if you see it that way. I think one of the areas that probably could create distress, because, we're all learning in this. Like, I've never been a golf coach, but I'm becoming one right now, and I've had to do a lot of work to learn how to coach someone in golf to get better. And I've been starting to leverage, information that's out there, and, even just coming up with a plan of what to do every single day now that we can trust, because it's based off of a lot of data.
Right.
I mean, I feel like that in itself is probably going to help you girls have more eustress versus
I agree.
distress, right?
I agree.
Instead of I'm going to go in the garage and practice,
Yeah.
but you don't even really know if you're
what to
practicing
practice.
the right things.
Yeah.
Now you have, okay, I know how many shots to take in this hour session with these 3 clubs, on Monday. I have on Tuesday, I'm going to work on everything from 100 yards in, for an hour. I know on Wednesday, I'm actually going to play 18 holes, and I'm going to not allow myself any mulligans. It's going to be just like I'm in a
Right.
tournament, like I'm trying out for varsity, put that kind of pressure on yourself. Let yourself shank some in the trees and have to get out of it
Right.
with a good attitude. Like keep yourself in a pressure playing kind of position. You know what I mean? Have some mobility exercises that you can trust. And the thing is, it's like you got to, every single day, the attitude is, today I'm going to seize the day.
Right.
Today I'm going to, actually, I know I have this scheduled. I'm going to have my discipline towards what I'm doing. Even there's going to be a lot of days you don't even feel like doing it. There's going to be a lot of days like, man, we're working hard at this thing, but it will add up towards
Yeah.
next year. But you got to show up with a great attitude every day. You got to show up with that level of excellence, and you got to have a plan. And so, are you guys up for having, an hour a day of some practice?
Yeah.
I would say at least 4 days a week, probably. I would say you probably have 2 days of the week that you're doing some kind of mobility, and really training your brain your body and your brain really to be more flexible.
Yeah.
Because if you're not flexible, that's one thing that I have learned as I've been trying to coach each of you. Like, there's certain things I can coach Drews right now in golf that really come kind of easy for him, because he's so flexible.
Yeah, he's
He's so uniquely flexible. And like Chrissy over here, probably I would say isn't nearly as flexible. you're strong, but you're not as flexible as he is. So when you're trying to like get your golf swing to come around, your body's actually fighting against you versus Drews just goes up and just like kind of, tells you, why don't you just do this? And we're all looking at him like, because none of our bodies do that. But anyways, well, you can work on that. And so anyways, having a daily plan is going to be huge. I think you guys should also probably write down a couple of maybe attitude mindsets that you're going to carry with you at every golf practice session. And we should put that up in the garage, so you're looking at it all the time. What would some of those things be that you'd want to write down?
I feel like some of the things that I personally need to work on is if your one bad shot or one bad hole or one bad round doesn't define your game. Like, just because maybe you had a bad day of practice doesn't mean you have to keep playing that way. Like, I am a good golf player and I can improve. Just follow the process and don't let maybe situations define how you think you can play. Like, for me, if I had a bad day at the range and I had a tournament tomorrow, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm not prepared. I can't play well tomorrow because I don't even know how to hit the ball anymore, right? But really, it's not that big of a deal. Like, just to take the mindset of you can improve with every single shot, but you can also be negative about the shots that you didn't improve on, but choose to be positive and to take it shot by shot. I remember for state, me and Chrissy took like extra time on these pamphlets we got of like distances and things like that. And I put like jokes and scriptures and quotes and things like that in mine because I knew a bad shot is pretty hard not to have. So having some bad holes, I just needed something to kind of distract my mind, especially since I wasn't in like the most fun group or anything like that. So I could kind of just relift my spirits. And one of my favorite quotes in it was the most important shot is the next one, not the last one. I
You
felt
should
like
write
that was
that one
really
down.
good.
We should put it in you should type it up, print it out, put it in the garage.
For sure.
Yep. Anything for you, Abby?
Sorry, I had to get my microphone. I would say that one of the biggest things is just having the mindset that I can do it more than thinking about, oh my gosh, what if it doesn't work? Like training my mind again to believe that I can do it. Just because I didn't show up at varsity this year doesn't mean it's going to happen next year. Like just really seeing, like really believing what you want to believe instead of like speaking and like believing the wrong stuff. Start turning your brain to what you really want to and start training your mind to think that. I think that's even more than just getting out there and practicing. It's just starting with the mental of like, do you believe you can do it before you even get out there? You know what I mean? Because then otherwise you don't feel like you have a goal of what you can achieve. You don't feel like there's nothing to work for if you don't feel like you can reach that goal. So I think just training my mind to say like, I can do it. Like it is going to happen.
Yeah, I think, you have to train your mind that, there's a great quote up there. It says that duty is ours, results is God's.
Yeah.
Right. And so the discipline part is every single day will follow my plan with a great attitude. And then you bring it down to every single swing I take, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. I mean, just think about how simple that is, but I'm just going to do this to the best of my ability, right? Each swing. And you break things down. That way, listen, we have the goal of everybody in here is going to average 80 next year. That's a great goal, I think. But again, the way you get there is you got to now kind of almost forget about the goal. The goal's there, but we put a plan together to get to the goal. And now we have to do the physical work, but also we have to do the mental work. And the mental work is just like little things we're talking about, but then remembering it and keeping it in front of you every single day. The mental work is starting to visualize hitting good shots before you swing the club every time. No matter if you hit a bad shot, the next time you visualize a good shot again, and then you swing the club, even if it's another bad shot, you just keep doing it. And like you said, Chris, just realizing that you're going to have some bad practice days. Remember we talked about that before? Remember what's the rule of thumb for that? Do you remember? Yeah.
Well, Dad always says that there's always a top third and maybe like in between and then a bottom third days. There's 3 kind of practice days and everyone's going to have an equal amount of all of them. And so like when we're training, there's some days that I'm like, I feel like I'm going to shoot par today. and I'm just flying and everything is feeling awesome. And then there's days that I'm like, I think I'm gonna shoot my worst round ever because my body is just not working right or whatever. And I'm like, how could I go from like the highest of highs yesterday to the lowest of lows today? Like, why does that happen? And you were explaining to us how there's always a rule of thirds. And so you're going to have really, really good days, and you're going to have kind of middling days, and you're going to have really bad days. But every single athlete deals with this, and that you just got to embrace it along the way.
Yep, just have that good mental attitude. Keep your words right.
Yep.
Even when you have the ups and downs.
It's good. So we know we got to keep our words right. Okay?
Yeah.
The other one, I love reminding everybody this third concept, because I can go in the garage, and one day I am just ripping the ball, and it seems so effortless, right? And then literally the next day, I can't not hit the hosel for some reason. And I think it has something to do with like just I'm sore, I'm fatigued. But if I let myself get discouraged, then I could start questioning whether I can be a good golfer. But it's like I remember the thirds. So yesterday was a high third day. Today might be a low third, but I'm still going to practice. And, you know, I don't know, you got to give yourself some grace for this. Otherwise, you can get too dramatic about what's happening, right? Last thing, and we got to cut this off. So you got to talk positive yourself. Remember the thirds, okay? The key to the thirds is just keep showing up and do the best you can on any given day with a level of excellence. Another one is, you know, outside of really, I don't want you to just stop talking negative to yourself in the moment. I want you to make sure you're talking positive to yourself. Okay, like there's a difference. You got to stop talking that. Now, the last one that I'll say is this, and I've been meaning to talk to you girls about this, but one of the things that, you know, we can do sometimes that seems like it's a little bit fun, and is we could be a little sarcastic with each other, but you can almost start rooting for each other to play poorly, so that way you play better or your score's better. We don't want to have a mindset in our family that we're hoping for anyone else to do bad. We don't. I'm telling you, you got to be careful with this, because here's what happens. Then you start thinking everybody else is hoping you're going to do bad, right? Our goal is to not be better than someone playing poorly. Our goal is to be the best version of us, playing as good as we can. And so in our family, your own voice is the loudest voice. So you got to be kind to yourself. You got to be encouraging to yourself. You got to not speak negative to yourself. But the second loudest voice in our family is each other in this family. So I don't want you guys making fun of each other. Okay. I don't want you, even in a joking sense, when someone hits a bad shot, you celebrate that. Okay. Let's just get away from that. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. Just don't be discouraging. Okay. Let's just keep planning on, okay, you know, I get internally sometimes somebody misses a putt. You're kind of like, okay, I have a chance now. This is great. But you're not celebrating the other person just did poorly. Is this making sense? Am I communicating this well? Because it's easy to let this kind of start creeping in. And then you guys almost become adversaries versus your greatest advocates. And in this family, man, this is just how we do things. We lift each other up. We pick each other up. In fact, I want every one of you guys to be kind of challenging each other to stick to your discipline pattern this year. And we'll probably start it next week, maybe this week. But yeah. We'll push each other and be like, okay, hey, you know, I get it. It's another hour practice today, but let's do it. You know, you guys are entering into your senior year. You know, regardless of what the results are next year, you'll want to have shown up knowing that you worked hard. And you'll be proud of yourself forever for that, regardless of results. If you show up next year and then you hadn't worked hard, that's the kind of stuff that can create regrets. Remember, you never regret the things you try hard at and even fail, but you always regret the things you never try at all. All right. So, all right. I love you guys. You did a great job today.
Love you, Dad.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening, and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.